Hi, I am Shallow and welcome to my channel. Here I do mental health videos based on research and personal experiences. You can email me anything at mydearchello@gmail.com, which I will indicate in the description box below, or comment any topic you want to discuss. Also, please listen to my new podcast, Munting Kwento. Christians have patron saints to say their petition, especially if there are urgent requests and they resolve to prayers. Saint Dymphna is a Christian saint honored in Catholic and Orthodox tradition. She is a patron of runaways, mental disorders, neurological disorders, victims of incest, victims of sexual assault, depression, anxiety, and sleep disorder. According to tradition, she lived in the 7th century and she was murdered by her father. When Saint Dymphna was 14 years old, she consecrated herself to Christ and took a vow of chastity. After her mother died, her father's mental health sharply deteriorated. Eventually, the king's counselor pressed him to remarry. Her father agreed, but only on the condition that his bride would be as beautiful as his deceased wife. After searching fruitlessly, her father began to desire his daughter, Saint Dymphna, because of her strong resemblance to her mother. When Saint Dymphna learned of her father's intentions, she swore to uphold her vows and fled his court along with her confessor, two trusted servants, and a king's fool. Together, they sailed towards the continent, eventually landing in what is present-day Belgium, where they took refuge in the town of Gil. One tradition states that once settled in Gil, Saint Dymphna built a hospice for the poor and sick of the region. However, it was through the use of her wealth that her father would eventually ascertain her whereabouts, as some of the coins used enabled her father to trace them to Belgium. Her father sent his agents to pursue his daughter and her companions. When their hiding place was discovered, her father traveled to Gil to recover his daughter. Her father ordered his soldiers to kill the confessor and tried to force Saint Dymphna to return with him to Ireland, but she resisted. Furious, his father drew his sword and struck off his daughter's head. She was said to have been 15 years old when she died. After Saint Dymphna and the confessor were killed, the residents of Gil buried them in a nearby cave. Years later, they decided to move the remains to a more suitable location. In 1449, a church honoring Saint Dymphna was built in Gil. By 1480, so many pilgrims were coming from all over Europe, seeking treatment for psychiatric disorders. Soon, the sanctuary for those considered mad was again full to overflowing, and the townspeople began taking them into their own homes. Thus began a tradition for the ongoing care of those with psychiatric condition that has endured for over 500 years and is still studied and admired today. Patients are taken to the homes of Gil inhabitants. Never called patients, they are called boarders and are treated as ordinary and useful members of the town. They are treated as members of the host family. They work most often in menial labor and in return, they become part of the community. Some stay a few months, some decades, some for their entire lives. At its peak in the 1930s, over 4,000 boarders were housed with the town's inhabitants. And that's it for today. I hope you learned something new. Remember, take care always because you matter.